Craig, looking down at your current house at the moment, you know this property all too well. 3 bedrooms, and then the extra space that's been created downstairs in the garage. So, one of the implications about going up is the plans and the ideas that you've given to me are not quite going to work as nicely and cleanly as you like. So we've got a bit of a problem. Here are the 3 bedrooms at the end there, Thomas and Talia and Ruby's room. And as you know, Thomas and Ruby's room are small. Talia's room is pretty good. 3.5 metres by about 3.2 metres is a good size average bedroom. And if you could, make bedrooms bigger than that, then terrific. The living rooms in here and the kitchen and that wall have now sort of become subject to change with this new design, and I'm going to take you through that in just a second. And one of your ideas was to utilise that giant concrete piece of floor that comes out over the carport and the garage door, and put a set of stairs in there and go around the corner. But you can see in this plan elevation in the photos here the proximity of the house next door. And I think one of the things that hasn't been considered in that proposal is what the building regulations say as to how close you can build to the boundary. And I'm going to demonstrate that. So what I'm going to do is put your concepts that you've put forward to me into the model and just demonstrate how they can't work. So here's the first one where I followed your design. I brought the stairs around the corner, right to the front edge of the garage door there, and you can see I've just gone straight up with windows above the garage and sort of resting on top of that concrete slab. And you can see we've ended up with this giant wall on the boundary. The roof at the moment is hanging over the boundary line. It's not a big deal. And then I've come out this way. This was one of your options with the bedrooms coming out here, and I'll show you why this doesn't work. I mean, it was just too small. It was 5 metres wide, and really that puts the bedrooms at about 2.5 metres wide each, which is really, really tight. In this particular design, what I did was I took the line in the original house and I put the second story back to that line there. So what we've done is we've created this really tall window. So the height of the windows is effectively the 2 stories. So that just lets loads of light in. And of course, this is the south side of the house. The stairs do their little wrap around the corner here, and what that means is the height at the back of the stairs where it comes into that room is brought forward, is brought south. You can see I've put a glass balustrade up here into that room. Now, there are implications of a design like this with heating and noise and things like that. So I don't know that this is really the best solution. I've left the colours of the bricks and all of that at the moment. I'm gonna later in a minute. I'm gonna show you a new design. So then I played with this extension coming out over the alfresco area, and that has implications as well because it meant that it was only going to be 2.5 meters in height. It is the northern side that has a big impact of where light comes into the property. I've just started toying around with the idea of the container pool, a little bit of decking on the boundary, 1.8 metre high fence, one of the beautiful timber screens, also sort of blackened out. I've blackened out the container in something like the monument. I've given you this cantilevered shade structure on a decking. Everything is pool fence compliant, really nice big paved area out here. The ability for dining and lounging, outdoor kitchen, all of that sort of stuff. The retaining wall there is sitting at about 1.2 metres in height. And then you can see that extension of bedrooms coming out here. But the problem is that this is only going to be 2.5 metres in height, which is quite a low ceiling. And so there is an implication of bringing the extension out this way. Unless we step up somewhere to gain another, we want to get to sort of that 2.7 metre mark. And then I've done another design where we don't have the roof there. So I then came up with a solution to resolve that problem of the heating and the noise, where I brought the second story right to the front window. So you lose that dramatic impact with that giant piece of glass that was coming up to 2 stories in height. But it means that this room comes all the way forward and sits in line with your current balcony, the balcony that sits over the carport entrance. And it just pushes this window out there. And you can see, I'll show you the reasons why I gave up in the end. This is just simply not going to work with access to the side stairs, this wall which is going to go up on the boundary, the roof that we need to put over the staircase, and things like that. I was really hoping that I could get this to work, but just in reality, it's not as easy as you might think. I'm close. I just can't get it. So this was a solution where the stairs came around the corner, but you can see the height of the stairs there just doesn't work. So the solution there was to then start the stairs behind the wall. Now that is your existing wall, so there's a brick wall there, and the interior framed out wall with the plaster. And the only way to get the head height to work behind there was to start the staircase on the other side of the wall, and then the ceiling and roof line was going to then follow suit. The windows that we're looking out here now, and where those people are standing, is that balcony, is the current piece of veranda that's out there. And simply the stairs just go straight up to the second story. We put a new wall on the outside. Obviously you've put a roof line that follows the stairs. You come to a landing, you go through a door. So this passage just essentially gets sealed at the top with a door if need be. I stopped the brick walling at that height. We could put in windows and all of that. But again, it just can't be done because of setback and the rear and side setback regulations. And I was just showing you, what would have been left over underneath the stairs in terms of storage space and capacity around the side area here, which would then be covered. But we need to come up with a plan B because this is not going to work. The walls along boundaries. So I've redesigned an alfresco space that comes out here, and we do go to the boundary. We can take a wall to the boundary at 3.6 meters, 3.2 meters in height. It's going to be a maximum of 3.6 meters in height. So we can go 3.2 meters in height to 10 meters along the boundary, plus 25% of the remaining property. So here's my solution to date. So render out all the bricks. I've clad the front in blue stone. It could be granite, it could be a different type of stone. I've gone for quite dramatic kind of blacks and whites and greys. And the drawing that you see here has a series of red lines that come up over the boundary. Now these are the side and rear setback rules. We can't build outside of those red lines. So as the natural ground level goes up, so do these lines. You can see there what looks like a big plane of glass, and the roof line it sticks out past this plane of glass, and there might be something that we can get dispensation for or do a design alteration. The existing concrete that's above your garage, that slab is now remaining open. We can talk about what we can do in that space there, but you can see I've now put the alfresco roof and skylights all the way to the boundary, all within the legal limits of what we can build here. It's a skillion roof, pitched up. I want to get glass at the top there, get lots of that northern light into the space. The southern end is obviously this window which looks out across into the street. And at this point, I wanted to sort of be able to demonstrate to you, and I've just plonked in a couch, but just what this space could be used for and try and visualize what you could use this for. I've done 2 bedrooms here, straight down the middle of the room. They're 4.2 by 2.8, I think. So they're not very they're long, but they're not very wide. Each of the rooms has a nice big window. This one looks out across to the trees and to the north. Has those, the ceiling is raked. So we get a sort of about almost a 3.3 metre height ceiling at this end, and it comes down to around about 2.5, 2.6 at this end. Both rooms have got wardrobes in them, but there's no bathroom up here. So you can see in this floor plan the stairs, the lounge space, the 2 bedrooms, but I've got no space for a bathroom at this point in time. So typically, and I've just got this sitting over to the side, the bathroom is going to contain a shower, a toilet, basin. If you've got 2 kids up there, then ideally you'd have the basin will be a dual basin. The bath is always optional, nice to have, but this little bathroom that you're looking at here is about 3 metres by 3 metres, which is what we've got to fit into that space up there, which might mean pushing things around. So I just wanted to be able to talk to you at this stage as to how we're going to lay that out. The alfresco, as I mentioned, comes all the way to the boundary. I've put in this big, quite solid retaining wall all the way to where that pool area is going to sit. We'll come back and talk about that in a second. The rear doors have now gone into sliding doors. They could be bifold doors, and down the side where the existing slab is over the garage, we can do something down that side there. So in here, you can see I've run the stairs up the existing wall. The fireplace has had to move forward. This is where we've pushed out over the garage, and the stairs have started. Now I've got a big giant pane of glass here, just as a bit of a design feature, but we will need to put some structural elements in here to support the roof line and that wall up there. So we can talk about how we're going to achieve that. And this piece of glass, well, that could just be a solid wall. We could just have the stairs going up behind it. I thought it could be a cool option, but it's all going to come down to cost. The front windows, you can see that upper story is offset to the right, and I've got some funky kind of blades coming down and boxed up a window. So these are just minor design elements that you don't have to have. I can show you lots of different options there. And we come back to the alfresco area, which now the roof line is sitting at about 2.7 metres in height, and I'd probably get more skylights into here. Again, I'm really conscious of this being the northern side, great for blocking out the hot afternoon sun, but I also want to make sure that we're getting winter light into the property. I think that's really critical, so we'll talk about that. And then I've just done paving, steps down to a lawn. You can see the container pool is kind of half sunk in here. So he's 1.2 metres in height. Along here you can get that acrylic edge in that front area there, and then stepping down to just another lawn area, which is just, I've got it leveled. You've got sheds down here and veggie patches and all those kinds of things. So I really haven't gone beyond the corner of the house in terms of design work. So that's just what I wanted to show you, where I've gotten to, the implications and things that still need to be considered, and you need to consider all of this, I guess, as part of the big plan and what the costs are going to be.